You want them to come over. Part of you already wants them to leave. Not because you dislike them, not because they did anything wrong. That is the part that makes it hard to explain. Before they arrive, your home starts feeling less like home. The blanket on the couch suddenly looks too personal. The cup near the sink feels like evidence. Even the chair you never push in starts to feel noticeable. You are not only cleaning, you are hiding the version of your life that was never meant to be watched. Then the knock comes. You open the door, and your smile is real. You are glad to see them. You ask how they are, and you care about the answer. But somewhere underneath the conversation, a quiet countdown begins. Not to escape them, just to return to the room after it belongs to you again. Because for some quiet people, home is not just a place to live. It is the place where the performance finally ends. And when guests enter, even people they love, that ending gets postponed. That is why the feeling can be so confusing, even before anyone steps inside at all. This is why the feeling can make a quiet person feel guilty. From the outside, hosting looks simple. Someone comes in, you offer a drink, you talk for a while, and later they leave. Nothing about it seems heavy enough to explain. But while the visit is happening, your attention does not stay in one place. You are listening, but you are also aware of the room. More like a quiet background pressure. You want them to feel welcome, so part of you keeps adjusting yourself without noticing it. You keep the conversation from falling too flat. You try to look relaxed where you normally do not have to look like anything. That is the part people miss. Some quiet people are not avoiding connection when guests come over. They are trying to make the connection comfortable, but in doing that, they lose access to the comfort their home usually gives them. So the guilt is not proof that they are cold. It is proof that two things can be true at once. They can care about the person in front of them and still need their space back. If this already feels familiar, comment home below. Not as a complaint, just as a sign that you know what it feels like to care about people and still need your space back. For some quiet people, home is not just where they live. It is where their face can finally rest. Out there, they may spend the whole day being readable enough for other people. They answer messages, return smiles, choose the right tone, and keep some part of themselves available. Home is different. The moment the door closes, their body understands something before their mind explains it. No one needs an answer right away. No one is watching how quiet they are. No one is asking them to be warmer, quicker, easier, or more social than they feel. They can sit in the same shirt for hours. Leave a plate in the sink. Let the room be silent without wondering if the silence is making someone uncomfortable. That is why guests can change the feeling so quickly, even in the smallest ways. Even a person they love brings the outside world back into the one place where the outside world was supposed to stop. The home still looks the same. The couch is there. The light is the same, but the role changes. Now they are not only living in the room, they are hosting inside it. And for quiet people, that can feel like losing the one space where they did not have to be anyone for a while. When quiet people host, they are not only sharing a room with someone, they are sharing the one place where they do not have to manage anything. That is why a pleasant visit can ask more from them than people realize. The conversation may be easy, the guest may be kind, nothing may be going wrong. Still, part of them stays alert. They hear the story being told, but they also feel the room changing around it. A pause lasts a little longer than expected. The guest shifts on the couch, and without meaning to, the quiet person starts wondering if the space still feels comfortable. Most of this does not feel dramatic. It is more like a quiet tab left open in their mind. They keep offering warmth while trying not to disappear into the role of host. A guest may leave thinking, "That was nice," and it was. But the quiet person may be tired in a way that is hard to explain, because they were not talking. They were holding the atmosphere. They were making sure the visit felt easy and welcome. That effort can be invisible when they do it well. So they may look calm while waiting for the moment the room stops needing them. Not because they want the person gone, because they want to return to the version of home where they can stop monitoring. The strange thing is, nothing has to be wrong for the room to feel different. A friend can sit on your couch carefully. They can speak softly, laugh kindly, and respect your space. Still, your home has changed shape. Their voice fills corners that were quiet a few minutes ago. Their bag rests near the door. Their body has a rhythm your room did not have before. It is a small change, but quiet people often feel small changes deeply. Home is usually predictable. You know the sound of your own steps. You know the silence between the refrigerator hum and the street outside. You know where your eyes can rest when you do not want to be seen. When someone enters, that private rhythm gets interrupted. Not ruined, just interrupted. And because the place matters so much, the interruption matters too. This is why hosting can feel more tiring than meeting someone somewhere else. At a cafe, the noise was never yours. At a restaurant, the chair was never part of your inner world. But your home carries your mood, your habits, your recovery. So when another person's energy enters it, your body may keep waiting for the space to settle back into itself. Only then can they fully exhale. If this helps explain something you have never been able to put into words, hit like. It helps this kind of quiet psychology reach the people who need it. This is why a quiet person can sometimes go out for hours and still feel less drained than they do after one guest visits their home. Outside, the space already belongs to nobody. A cafe is supposed to have other voices in it. A restaurant is supposed to have movement, noise, chairs shifting, people passing behind you. Nothing there is personal. If the conversation becomes too much, they can leave. They can step outside, go home, close the door, and return to the place that was waiting for them. But when the socializing happens at home, the exit disappears. They are already in the place they normally return to. The place that usually helps them soften after being around people is now asking them to stay socially available. That is what makes hosting feel strange. It turns the recovery space into the social space. The room still has the couch, the lamp, the familiar quiet corners, but those things cannot do their usual job. They are no longer helping the quiet person disappear from the world. They are helping the visit happen. So even if everything is pleasant, part of them is waiting for the room to become private again. Not empty, private. There is a difference. Empty means nobody is there. Private means they can finally stop being seen. Then comes the part that quiet people often feel worst about. The guest is still there. They are not doing anything wrong. They may be laughing at the table, telling a story, or sitting comfortably on the couch. The visit may even be warm. And still, somewhere in the back of the quiet person's mind, a small hope appears. I hope this ends soon. Then guilt follows. Because how do you explain wanting someone to leave when you also care about them? How do you explain feeling grateful they came, while also imagining the moment the door closes and your face can finally relax? It can make a person question themselves. Am I rude? Am I unloving? Why can't I just enjoy this the way other people seem to? But love and relief are not opposites. You can care about someone deeply and still feel tired by being available to them inside your private space. You can enjoy their presence and still need the silence after they go. The relief does not mean the love was fake. It means part of you was holding something the whole time. A role, an awareness, a version of yourself that had to stay open, responsive, and easy to reach. When the visit ends, that part finally gets to step back. That is what your body is waiting for. Not the absence of people, the return of yourself. There is one thing worth being honest about. Not wanting guests over does not always mean something is wrong. Some people simply know that their home is where they recover. They can love people, enjoy company, and still prefer meeting somewhere that does not turn their private space into a social space. That can be a healthy boundary. It becomes clearer when they can say it without shame. Let's meet for coffee. Can we do dinner out instead? I'd love to see you, but tonight I need the house quiet. A quiet person does not have to turn their home into an open door just to prove they care. But there is another side to notice. Sometimes privacy slowly becomes a wall, not because they like peace, but because letting anyone close starts to feel impossible. If every visit feels like a threat, if every knock feels invasive, and if every connection has to stay outside forever, then the issue may not be guests. It may be fear wearing the shape of preference. The goal is not to force yourself to host more. The goal is to know the difference between protecting your peace and disappearing behind it. A healthy boundary gives you room to come back to yourself. It does not make your world smaller forever, lonelier than it has to. If you do not like having guests over, it may not mean you are closed off. It may mean your home carries a role in your life that other people cannot see. It is the place where your voice can get softer, where your face does not have to arrange itself, where nothing needs to be hosted, explained, or made comfortable for someone else. And when people enter that space, the space changes. That does not make them wrong for coming, and it does not make you wrong for needing it back. Quiet people are misunderstood because others only see the closed door. They do not see how much they give when it opens. The attention, the warmth, the quiet effort to make them welcome. The truth is not that they dislike people. They may simply need one place where they are not being watched. A place where people can wait, so they can fully come back to themselves first. If you know someone who gets called cold or distant because they do not like having guests over, share this with them. Thank you for watching until this moment. I'm Can. Subscribe for more videos about introverts, quiet people, and the psychology behind behaviors most people misunderstand. Goodbye, and see you next time.